Tag Show. Tag Show. That's gonna leave a mark, Taylor.
That's undisputed because I'm undisputed. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's another episode of the Mixed Tag Show with.
Why did you do that?
Why are you in my business?
Jenna, I'm just,
and
this
Blue.
is my
look what I can
business.
do. Yeah? Huh?
Wait,
Look.
I can never do cool things with my hands, or
Yo, it took me forever to
hidden
figure it out,
talent.
though.
You know how kids can we used to flip
I
their
never
eyelids.
was able to do that. I was never able to do that.
I could never do that Star Trek
I
shit.
practice this every day.
I can never do that.
It's
Although my nails look
exercise.
fantastic.
I do that with the kids too. I can't do the pinky.
No, I can't. I can't do that. And then I can't whistle, so I just don't have. I am not talented when it comes to weird shit like that. So explains why I can't do that.
It's one of the first things you learn as a kid is whistling. How do you not know how to whistle?
I tried and I couldn't do it. The only thing I could do is snap my fingers.
You can't slap your finger across like this?
No, I can't do that either.
That's a Caribbean thing, though.
Yeah, anyway. I know. I just can't. I can't. Sorry.
It's all right. It's okay. It's okay. We don't love you any less.
Appreciate it. That
How was your week?
So good. My week was it was an interesting week, but nonetheless, it's cool. How was your week?
Nothing extravagant happened. Work 6 days. Got to watch some good wrestling. That's a plus.
That's always a plus.
Oh, you know
right?
what? Yo, a while ago during this whole summer situation, I forgot to tell you something that I did. Look what I got. Look what I got.
You're not even a Yankee fan.
Yes, I am. What are you talking about?
Whatever. I guess that's
so.
Cool.
You know what's crazy? I have a ticket from when I went to go see one of his last games, so I'm actually gonna put it in here with this to add to it.
Are you trying to go to? Can I have that?
No, you can't have that. What would you? What?
Because you're not. Whatever.
I am a Yankees fan.
Anyway,
it's funny. I found because the sports store was going out of.
Okay. Anyway,
let me tell you the story. What happened?
Go ahead.
The sports store was going out of business, and it was on the last day that they were open. And me, my wife, and the kids were just walking around the mall. Oh, this store is on sale. Let me see if I could go find myself a Knicks jersey or a Yankee jersey, whatever. And I went in there, and this was on sale for what was it? It was $30 or $40 or something like that. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I gotta get this. I had a few things in there.
Oh, here's the thing. This is my issue with you, and we've had since knowing you for the past 3 years. It's is there a problem? No. Is there a problem? Okay, ahead, you hit your head on the mic because I was just trying to figure out what was the issue. Anyway, you didn't think by going to the store and this is cool. Oh, I know Jenna, my tag team partner, my sister, my homie, this and that and third. She like this. Even if you didn't have to buy it for me. Just say this is it. Did you think that? Did you think that?
The thing. No, I didn't. You know why? Because the store was closing. It was literally was there 5 minutes before everything was shut down. Man. I'm serious.
Whatever.
It was on a Sunday. It was on a Sunday. The mall was closing.
Excuse.
It's not an excuse. It's the fact. I wouldn't have no time to do anything else. Anyway, but yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. I wanted to share with you because I know you're a Yankee fan. To the smile.
It's cool. It's fine. Enjoy it. I'm happy for you.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, let's get this show started because I don't know what's going on with these connections and it's acting very weird.
Let's get this show on the road.
It's not on my end, right?
Always
Okay.
talking about.
Nah, it's definitely.
Always talking about.
It's you.
Always
It's
talking about
you.
mine because I
It's
haven't.
you. It's you.
It's never me. Never me.
So I heard that Bianca and Liv had a dope match. Well, was part of a dope match this past week. They had a good moment, man.
Yeah, I know you didn't want to discuss it because you said it would have been repetitive, but like what happened in post SummerSlam where people were saying that Becky is going to be healed. So she came out did her little tweener thing.
Right.
And then when Bianca whatchamacallit said
Asked
how
for her
about we,
rematch.
basically asked for her rematch and Becky was like, nah, and left. And like the crowd was like, what the F? What I don't know why I decided not to curse. What the fuck, basically. The only reason why I wanted to bring this up is just because I see what they're doing, and again, I wanted to make it clear that I think I can speak for both of us in saying that I don't think Bianca's light is dim. Like she has the ability, and I think I said this with someone. Oh, shout out to those wrestling girls because they after our war council they did a little thing. I believe on their Patreon, and we discussed
The sound off.
our thoughts, sound off in regards to that SummerSlam match. But what I said was Bianca has that it factor, right? She reminds me. I've been saying this a lot on the show, and I feel like you said it that she reminds me a lot like Sasha. Like no matter through bad booking, she's gonna find a way to just people gravitate to her and want to root for her, right? So I don't
Yeah,
think
she got
she's
great
ruined
energy.
in
Yeah.
that sense. She has great, and she just has that it factor. My only issue
I mean, like,
is
good.
what? No, because you keep cutting me off. Like
I was
I
gonna
was
say
on a
like
roll. You
energy
cut me off.
aura, like energy aura.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, the reason why I say this is because Bianca reminds me a lot like Sasha, like I've mentioned numerous of times, in the sense of like Sasha's booking from like what was it, 2017
Yeah.
to like
Up to
around
2019.
Mania. Yeah, like 20
Yeah.
up to 27 until her return in 2019, she was in
Right.
this like bad place of booking, but she was obviously able to overcome that because of the talent that she is. But and so that reminds me with Bianca, like with NXT, right? She never won the NXT Women's title, but she was still always very popular. And then obviously
Yeah.
we were very excited for her coming up to the main roster, and then they were hyping her up, and then they stopped using her. We know
Yeah. Stop and
Bianca.
start.
Yeah, exactly. But Bianca has always been a very popular talent. So
Yeah.
in that sense, I know that she'll be fine. It's just that I'm afraid of booking because after they have their rematch, Becky's not dropping this title, right? It's like, and they may even have another match after that. This might be the feud for the rest of the year. I don't know, right?
Right.
But needless to say, Becky's not dropping this title. So that I wanted to reiterate that that's the issue. No one's complaining in the sense of that Becky won. It's the fact of how she lost it and then what happens to Bianca afterwards. Because after Bianca does her couple of rematches with Becky, are you guys going to put, for example, Bianca and Liv having a feud because they like, as that was the first thing you mentioned, they did pretty well in the Fatal 4-Way, those two. So it's
Nice
like, are you
chemistry.
going to
Yeah.
have them? Exactly. So are they going to have something? Because again, we always have this complaint all wrestling fans or fans of women wrestling in general, it's like you don't have to have just one or even two matches on the card, right? You can have
Right.
3 women matches. You can have more than one feud, right?
Yeah.
So that's my thing. If you're not going to give Bianca the title against Becky, fine. But this should be a what's the word I'm looking for? This should be a lesson in the sense of you guys have to stop focusing on just one feud, especially when it comes to the
Yeah.
women's division, because now it doesn't give who after Bianca faces Becky and she loses. Who does Becky get? Maybe she'll get Sasha. Obviously, maybe like Royal
Right.
Rumble time. I don't know what they plan on doing with Sasha at this point when she comes back, but it's just like who do you plan on having Becky face afterwards and that's going to look formidable against her? So that's the
Yeah.
only thing. But listen, Becky, it's
I
always an
agree.
added plus. Go ahead, because I
Yeah, I was gonna
overall.
just say I agree. I agree. The whole situation is like that was the issue from the loss from the begin with. Is like you just basically just discredit her against Becky overall. Like, all right, Becky's it. Like she can't topple that. So anybody that Bianca faced in the past couple of months is like, how they supposed to measure up against Becky if Bianca fell for what she fell for? Even if she has the next match and it's like a nice 10, 15-minute match, maybe she'll redeem herself from the WrestleMania loss. But like history has it, she probably won't. Like I'm saying, like this is it was a hit in the character's story, not Bianca herself, because like we said, she has a great aura, she has a great
Exactly.
vibe about her. Everybody's gonna gravitate to her regardless. The girls are gonna look up to her regardless. But it's just to her character that you were trying to build, that you spent months building. You just
Mhm.
like, all right, that matters nothing. Becky's back. This is where we'll put all our eggs into again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that's what
No.
it basically
Exactly.
felt like. So it's like
Exactly.
Becky can make a slow comeback. Like even if she came back and she has ring rust, she hasn't wrestled in how long? You know what I mean? Like her losing is not impossible. It could have happened. You could have built a whole story about her building up back to her top spot instead of just placing her there. Like she didn't miss a step. Like what? Like she was going for
Yeah.
over a year.
Yeah. I mean, but listen. At the end of the day, they're pushing this as a heel. So this is obviously a slow burn. So we'll see. She's obviously not going to have a match anytime soon. Probably next time she'll actually have a match is probably for a pay per view. So it'll give
Yeah.
Becky time to get her ring rust out as best as possible. Again, and we'll see. I just hope it's not a situation where I start to hate Becky's character, Becky. You know, because of how
Charlotte.
WWE exactly. You know how WWE decides to push this. So because I'm getting to that point where I'm just like, all right, like I'll be honest with you. I tuned in for a brief second for SmackDown just to see, and I wasn't interested. Granted, I'm probably in the minority. You're probably in the minority because she got a crazy pop, right? And then
Yeah.
apparently, she tweeted out ratings Rebecca. Obviously, these were preliminary viewership numbers, so they'll probably go down from what they're predicted or reported on
Right.
Saturday. Like the actual numbers will come out Monday. But I'm pretty sure, like, this is not even to knock Becky. It's just like I'm pretty sure it did climb up. You know,
Just to
it
see what
went pretty
happens.
high. Yeah, just to see exactly. It's always after like a big pay per view, what's next or whatever. But I don't think they did 2.9 million viewership. I could be wrong. We'll see.
I'm
But
finding it
his
interesting how all the wrestlers automatically care about ratings. Like everybody want to put ratings in their names. They all want to be needle movers and like so you don't want to garnish your success by in ring anymore. You're garnering your success by ratings. So what's the point of you being in ring?
No, I hear you, but I also think that I mean, listen, at the end of the day, I feel like there should be a balance with that. Yes, you want to your in-ring work should speak for itself, but at the same time, I want to know that what what I'm doing is being receptive by the mass, right? So if
Yeah.
my thing is if I'm a top competitor and I see like ratings are a certain number and they're not increasing, they might decrease. That would, for me, I feel like would light a fire under me and be like, yo, okay, what can we do to be? Because this is my name that's attached to it. So
Right.
how can I be better? So I don't fault wrestlers nowadays, or if they did in the past that are concerned with merch sales and ratings and
Ratings.
viewership because again, like for wrestlers stuck in catering and I get the chance to have a showing and then people are receptive to it. I want that so I can go to like the higher ups and be like, look, this is people are behind me. I'm trending this, that, and third. Like I have
Yeah.
proof to back that up. So I don't knock superstars or wrestlers that look feed into that. If you focus way too much and then not really put, your heart into performing, then that's the issue. But I think there should be a balance when it comes to that.
I agree. I agree. Also, you said there was another segment that really caught your eye on SmackDown. Again, it was in the background. I didn't really,
I actually didn't.
I
I
wasn't
didn't really tune
in
into
tune.
SmackDown.
I wasn't in tune with
Yeah.
SmackDown either. But I did see the segment she was talking about between Naomi and Sonya Deville, where there's
Hmm.
like, what? I didn't even know he was coming over. What you wanted to say about it? I'll let you start off.
again, it's good to have Naomi back on SmackDown. SmackDown at this point, I feel like has the better division. Yeah,
Right.
in regards to like the main roster, probably maybe even NXT too, I guess. And we all this has been a constant thing for the past 2 years or so of Naomi, like
It's all about
whether she's
trending.
trending, right? Whether she's trending or just constantly talked about and just you know what I mean. So it's just like hopefully this is like a thing where we get to build up her character. Whether it's Naomi versus Sonya, whether it's an authoritative figure or an actually in ring type thing. There's the possibilities are endless, right? And this is what I was just
Right.
discussing in regards to you don't have to have just one women's feud on the main roster. You can have 2, 3. So maybe this is a feud between Naomi trying to, with Sonya trying to get seen and getting a shot. And maybe listen, a lot of people were saying on Twitter that maybe this is kind of how it's a slow burn, that this turns Naomi to the dark side in the sense, and then she aligns herself with the bloodline.
bloodline. Yeah,
That'd be a great character. Although I like the glow character for Naomi, it's been working. I don't think it's tired, but I
it's
think
time
it
to
could
retire
work
a
for her.
little bit.
Change. It's time for a change.
It could take a break. I mean, she can always go back
and just
to
to
it's
see
there.
what she can
It's her.
do.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
definitely a heel turn and joining the bloodline and putting Roman in her ear, like, look what we could do as a family type situation. And that's how she takes down Bianca. I mean, Becky. I could see that working. You know what I mean?
I could see that. So now, but here's the thing though. If Becky's a heel and then Naomi turns into a heel, now you have Carmella. You have Carmella. Let's say hypothetically, Naomi, Becky, Sasha when she comes back. We don't know if she's gonna be a face or heel. Bailey as is right. Zelina, Carmella. You have, and I don't know about Natalia and Tamina. I don't know if they're heel faces right now. So the point is, obviously,
They're
there's
faces.
a lot of this. Okay, they're faces, but they're in the tag team division right now. So right now there's a shortage when it comes to women faces.
Bianca and Liv.
Those two. Now if Sasha comes back, maybe she comes back as a face.
No. Bianca, Liv, Toni Storm, Shotzi Blackheart.
Where's Toni Storm?
She's part of SmackDown.
I know, but where's she at? I know.
I'm just saying they have some choices.
Okay.
They have choices. I'm just trying to say they have choices. Shotzi Blackheart and the other guy she came up with.
Tegan.
They're all faces.
Put some respect on Tegan's name. Yes, but Tegan and Shotzi are stuck in the women's tag team division currently.
Well,
so that's not, So the point is, speaking of women, I know this is completely irrelevant, because I feel like we're kind of done discussing this. Have you seen Ruby Soho's videos?
Of course.
Oh man.
Of course. This looks amazing. Ruby Soho's out here working.
Man, I am like thoroughly like invested. A masterpiece. And then so I guess she's coming. I would assume she's coming to AEW, right?
Yeah, I think she's gonna be the Joker for All Out Battle Royal, for the Women's Battle Royal. I think she's gonna be the Joker.
Because the only reason why I'm because I think we've mentioned this, and then just like this is taking place in New York, right? Like everything is like her in New York.
She's trying to get to. She's trying to leave. She's trying to leave Jersey to go to. I think it's Chicago.
I guess
her ticket said or something like that.
Is it Chicago? Because because I thought this was gearing up to Arthur Ashe Stadium. That appearance,
Maybe.
Not at All Out.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. She might be showing up at All Out as a Joker. I wouldn't be surprised if she was, but we don't know. That's the point of the Joker. So maybe will her 90 day be done by that time? I don't think so. Right?
I think people were saying by. I think people were saying by New York. So I don't know. Needless to say, man, and her look is just.
You saw the last one when she heard her old interest music and flipped out.
Was this recent? The last one that I saw that she stole someone's car. And
so in the car, if you listen, the music she listened to was like her old interest music, and then her old interest music from WWE, and then she's like, and she starts flipping out, and that's what made her get into that little that a car
Oh, okay.
situation.
See, I wasn't paying attention to the
Yeah.
music. I was just like that. It just was. I gotta watch that again. See, like I love that, like little different things, like subtle storytelling. But I'm like,
Sidebar, since we're
just
talking about
I'm happy for that.
vignette videos, the whole
Mhm.
Buddy Matthews video that people were throwing the outrage of, like, did you see that?
No, I didn't see that. Well, what's going on with that?
So he basically did a situation kind of like similar to Malachi Black leaving the ward, like psych ward,
Hmm.
and everybody just
Hmm.
associated it automatically with prison. Oh, why everybody keep calling WB a prison and da 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 da. First of all, it wasn't a prison. They called them patients, so it was like a psych ward. Second of all,
Hmm.
this one person went as far to say, "Oh, we shouldn't joke about jail. My cousin got gang raped in jail and caught AIDS or something like that." And everybody's like, "Gee, why? I'm pretty sure your cousin would want him to put his info like that. Oh, my cousin died, so you shouldn't joke about jail." Everybody's like, "Whoa,
I'm not trying to
yo,
laugh about any, but like,
no!" Everybody was like, "Yo, like, what the, my man? Wrestling is real to you, huh? Like you can't
people
compare to
are.
jail now, like." If that's the case, that's why I tweeted. Everybody started laughing. I'm like, if that's the case, I mean, I guess it's really hell inside of the cell. Like, like we can't talk about hell in the cell. Like it was
Yeah.
bad. But yeah, but these people are doing very well on their own, in my opinion. Just bigging up themselves and trying to find a way to get ready for the next step. I'm pretty sure. I think Buddy Matthews is going to Impact. I heard. Last I heard.
Hmm.
So it's interesting to see.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I going off what you said in regards to people bigging up themselves. It just reminds me again. Anytime, even like outside of the wrestling world, just in just any type of business capacity that you're in, right? You want to stand out. You want your ideas to stand out. If especially if you work in a situation where you get to be creative. So I just never understood, like, with, again, with going back to WWE, why, yes, you have a creative team, but like the superstars should be allowed to be creative and show their personality and pitch certain things, and just being there, and they were just pigeonholed to a certain thing, and it sucks. You can't be creative. So it's good that, like you said, that people are now allowed to like spread their wings and show what they're made of. So we'll
Yeah,
see. I'm excited
definitely.
for these wrestlers.
So speaking of changing of looks, NXT got a new
And live
logo,
in color.
new feel, living color, right? I was like, I seen
There
it,
you go.
I seen the paint splash, and I'm like, this is living color, ain't it? Um, the new music, it was debuted by Wale, so everybody's making these jokes
Hmm.
that it's coming out of this dark era that Triple H had for it in terms of metal music and all that, hard
Rock.
steel and
Yeah.
all that stuff, and now it's coming into more of a light hip hop that people are predicting because Wale,
Hmm.
featured the new logo. What did you think about the new
Hmm.
logo?
I don't like. No, I like it. I'm on the fence, actually. I like it, but, and here's the thing. Obviously I'm a hip hop fan. I've always liked. I know we want more inclusion and diversity, but it's just something about wrestling and like gritty and hard, right? And Wale, this is not any disrespect to Wale, um,
Huh?
but I
Not disrespect
associate.
Wale on here.
Okay, that's not what's happening. Don't
Okay,
do
just making
that.
sure. Just making sure.
No, don't
Just
do
making
that,
sure.
because I don't want no sound bites or whatever. Anyway, but I just always associate. Always associated wrestling themes, like, and rock themes, right? So hell, even with our theme song, right? It's a mixture of the Attitude Era with our flavor, right? So
Hip hop, yeah.
um, yeah, you know what I mean. So, but it still kept a little bit of elements of,
The rock.
the rock and everything,
Even
not the wrestler, but rock.
rap music.
Um,
Kind of like how DX and Run DMC kept it together.
yeah,
The King of Rock,
yeah,
who
they was
there's still
exactly.
that rock
Yeah,
element to it.
exactly. So now, if you would have said, you put Wale maybe on like a rock type beat, I think I would have been like,
The
all right,
Poppy,
this
since they
is
like
cool.
Poppy a lot.
Yeah, especially Poppy, since she's been associated numerous of times with NXT. So I would have been more inclined to mess with it or bang with it. But listen, it's time for a change. we'll see. Hopefully it's still gritty and it's not. I don't know. Time will see. Like NXT definitely needs a change at this point. I didn't necessarily think the colors have to change or anything, but it does.
Yeah.
It's gotten stagnant, and we've always talked about how NXT always goes through a period of where
Waves.
they have to reset and like kind of like establish new stars. So this is that time, but it just feels like they were lacking for a really, really long time, longer than they typically do. So we'll see, but they definitely needed a change.
I don't think they were lacking. I just think they weren't hitting as the same. But it's sidebar. You know what's funny? Did you see the tagline for the new WWE 2K22?
I forgot. I saw it.
The tagline is it hit different.
Oh yeah.
It hit different. Like I'm starting to see a lot of WWE now starting to cater or trying to reach out to a certain audience now with these new changes.
With these new changes. If I catch your drift.
Right. Like after Bianca lost, who came out? Those Olympic winners.
Oh, and then and then the whole even outside of that, like the whole trying to get Megan Thee Stallion that's
right, Cardi B,
SummerSlam and Cardi B and using up for the official song for SummerSlam.
Yes. So I'm starting to see a little pattern on their end.
But here's the thing, again, it goes time and time again with the pandering. It's like you're pandering.
That's what I'm saying.
Don't tell me you try. It's like until you tell me you hired people of color in prominent positions, I'm still gonna look at you side-eyed you. Because you're not doing it exactly. You're not doing it just because you're not doing it because you necessarily want to. You're just trying to cater to a certain audience, and it's cool. But if you still not showing us like people that look like us, that's in corporate and creative and whatever, I can't bang with you. I can't bang with you.
Yeah, so that's the way I look at it with the whole NXT colors. I agree. They should have kept the yellow, just like Raw is known for red, SmackDown is known for blue. NXT is known for even 205 Live is known for purple. Now you're putting all these different colors on the NXT logo, confusing everybody. Like, like it looked like a living color. Like, is it Nickelodeon bought you guys already? Like, what's happening? Like. You're gonna have guts popping up at NXT with the slime.
Well, listen, even guts was gritty and dark. So don't do that to guts.
I'm just saying, though, like, are you gonna have slime at the show? Like, it's like, are you catering towards kids now? Like, there's so many questions that we're not getting the answers to, and I guess we just gotta wait and see. But I don't know about this one. I don't know. Let's see. In the meantime, it's a living color for me.
What did you think of Wale jumping on the theme song for NXT?
I didn't really hear the theme for itself. I just saw the pictures and I was like, "Oh, this is where we going." I saw that Wale dropped it, but I seen that work, so I was like, "I'm gonna get back to it." I never really did. But I mean, Wale jumping. Wale been trying to work with the company for a while. So if this is way in,
and he has, he has
in different capacities, yeah. So if this is way in, then to work with NXT, then I'm all for it. That means you hire somebody of us in a nice role. Now it depends what he's doing at NXT too. Like, what do you have? Is he just gonna be singing the raps and then theme songs and then keep it moving, or are you gonna let him put some input? You know what I mean? Like, there's levels to it. So let's see what happens.
We'll see.
Do you want to end off? Let's talk. What you want to do? You want to do Empowerrr? You want to do this Brandi talk first, and then we close out.
Well, I guess because we're talking about inclusion and diversity and all that, I guess we can talk about Brandi Rhodes and then end off with Empowerrr. Yeah.
All right. Cool. So Brandi
I know
decided
you feel differently than the Black wrestling community. Yeah.
Not everybody. I have a lot of people that feels the same way I do.
Okay.
So here's the thing. So this past Friday, Brandi decided to choose violence. And she tweeted out, "This may start some shit." I'm reading the quote. This may start some shit, but let's talk. I see a lot of people
Shit
complaining out
emoji.
on here. Yeah, it looks like is that a shit emoji or is it an ice cream? There's always that. Anyway, um, I see a lot of people
I think it's a
complaining
shit
on
emoji.
here that there aren't enough black talent featured in wrestling yet. When black talent is out there busting it in the main events and holding championships, where's the love? Am I just missing it? And end quote. I agree with her comment. Again, I don't think she's a person that should have said it because, for whatever reason, the black wrestling community don't like Brandi. For the moment when they was questioning her why she was showing support for George Floyd, to where she responded, she shared her experience that usually when she tried to make takes on things like this, she's not well receptive. So she's just kind of like she doesn't feel like she's accepted by the black community. She put her emotions out there, and then people took it again and flipped it like, oh well, no, you put yourself in that, you know what I'm saying, like you put yourself in that bubble and da 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 because you don't talk enough about us, you know what I'm saying, like that kind of situation. Um, and in terms of that tweet, I've been saying this for the past couple of weeks. I kind of went on a tangent, a rant this past week about that because it was frustrating to see everybody complain about the lack of diversity in AEW. When AEW is very diverse. Diversity doesn't mean just black people. For people that don't, you know what I'm saying, like that want to be right about it. There's a lot of Latinos there. There's a lot of different races there. Like me and you have discussed before. They do lack inclusion. They do lack in that matter on the ring, backstage, all that. I agree with everybody on that point. Inclusion is missing. The problem I have with people that say that her tweet was wrong, when Red Velvet versus Britt Baker main evented Rampage, people wasn't talking about Red Velvet main event in the very first Rampage ever. That was a history making moment. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody gave AEW credit for that. Their excuse was, "Oh, we knew Britt Baker was going to win." Freaking 95% of the time, we know who's going to win. We still support who we support, right?
Right.
Like we all sometimes we could go into a pay-per-view like, all right, this is the predictions of winners, but we're still gonna root for the other person that's gonna lose. So on a historic moment night like that night when Red Velvet went against Britt Baker for the AEW Women's Championship, putting the women division on the map in terms of main event in the very first Rampage, you guys wasn't supporting that. When Dante was doing his stuff in the ring on that Wednesday, it lasted one day, and y'all never talk about Dante ever again unless y'all want to bring up, well, we should see more Dante. How can they see more Dante when y'all stop talking about the guy? Or when Lee Johnson had a great offense against Miro, had more offense than anybody else that he faced. Nobody talked about that. You know what I'm saying? The things that happened on Dynamite, not Dynamite, on the Dark, it's on YouTube. But for some reason, YouTube don't count for the people that want to use their platforms to say AEW is not giving black people enough. You know what I mean? Like, but my thing has always been, instead of when you try to attack people, they're gonna fight back. When you try to bring awareness to people, there's a difference in how they respond. You know what I'm saying? Like the way people attacked Brandi was wrong. Like if you wanted to bring a point, it wasn't to call you, oh, your company is this and that to the third. I always been part of the bring a solution, and nobody has brought a solution except just put them on TV. But when they put them on TV, you're clowning them when they mess up. As what happened this past week when Red Velvet had a blumper, even though she played it off and so the miss, you still guys were replaying it over and over again. Oh, look how immature! Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is the mess up. You know what I'm saying? So now they're hesitant to put black people on TV because if they mess up, or any wrestler for that moment, that's what happens. You guys don't even y'all don't mask it. So as much, I always say, as much energy y'all put into the negativity of like calling people out, y'all should have put that on highlighting those people that are getting the moments on Dark, that are getting the moments on Rampage, that are getting the slim moments on Dynamite. Will Hobbs is about to have another match this week. I haven't seen anybody talk about that because they feel like it's going to be a squash for Brian Cage. He's still on Dynamite. You still got to support that. And that's the way I look at it. Like, she wasn't wrong. Like, people are looking for the negative to talk about. They're not talking about, and people say, well, we do it inside of us. Phil brought up a good point. Wrestling media has a bubble. So we all talk to each other. We all see the same things. But outside of that bubble, are those people, are those black community or the people that's not in tuned with what's happening backstage, are they really rooting for these people as well? Do they know who Darius Lockhart is? You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't. And that's on us to bring to them. And when they bring this certain moments, that's us to bring to them. If we're not doing it, why are we expecting other people to do it for us? And that's the way I was looking at it. I know I just
Listen,
went on
you
a
have
whole.
a
I just went on a
as you
whole.
should, because I always dominate a specific topic. So I let you run with it, and you had a valid point. I don't disagree with you. I do feel that let's I do feel at times that yes, Brandi Rhodes does get a lot of hate, but but she also says things where she has to put things her foot in her mouth. Essentially, she's not
Yeah.
always 100%. Says the right thing on social media and hasn't necessarily used her platform as a black woman. You know what I mean? In this
Ah,
community.
she
She
put
doesn't
on a she
always.
put on. What I'm saying is she do what she can. And that's what she was saying in her Instagram post. The Instagram post is a little bit too long to read, but that's essentially what she was saying. Like in places that
We'll
she
get
can
to we'll
help.
get no, hold on. No. We'll get to that point because we're right now because you gave us the quote in regards to Twitter.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll get to that point. But in regards like to the George Floyd thing. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. You say certain things and then you get attacked. But that's people in general. When you're a public figure, you're not the only. I hate to say it. I'm not saying I'm not sympathetic.
no,
She's not the only person that's a public figure that gets attacked for whatever they say. You as a black woman. So not only are you a woman, but you're a black woman. So you're already like the cards are already stacked against you, right? You have
right.
to continue to use your platform, right? I'm sorry. I get it. I get, it's not easy because social media is a vicious place, and especially in this time in this generation, everybody wants to cancel this person and just be rude. I get it. I hear it, and then it fucks with your mental, but you have
Right.
to use your platform. You can't you know what I mean? When we look at our, and I'm not trying to go on a tangent, but like we look at our like leaders, black leaders and activists that get attacked but still use their voice, whether there's going to get a positive reaction or a negative reaction. You have to use your platform. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? I understand. Again, I'm not saying I'm not sympathetic, but there has to be, in my opinion, you have to find a line where you can use your platform and uplift uh, people of color in this industry because we know it's a white male dominated industry, right? So I don't necessarily think that she's like completely the victim. She
Right.
has she has a prominent role. Yes, she's not the owner. She doesn't necessarily make all the decisions, this and that, and third, but you have a prominent role. So you have to
And she
use your
used it.
platform.
I feel like she
She
has.
used it. You have to continue to use it. You just said what
No,
she
no,
just
no.
you in regards to you have to continue to use it. You have to because it's just like you have a daughter that would see a black woman in that light. You don't know how many people that you get what I'm saying, that or
I
little
get what
girls
you're
that you'll
saying.
resonate. You get what I'm saying? You can't necessarily, if you agree to be in this position, you have to keep going. That's
I
all
get
I'm
what you're
saying.
saying.
And then
I get
in
what you're
regards to
saying.
like I hear, and you're absolutely right how, you know, and this is not just even the black community. I just think people in general pick and choose who they want to support, obviously, because you gravitate to who you need to gravitate to.
Yeah.
And diversity doesn't just mean in regards to black people. Yes, it does mean Latinos as well. But here's the thing: even still, when we look at wrestling over the years, when we look at in regards to the Latino community, a lot of times it's been strictly Mexican,
Yeah.
right? So how diverse are we talking, right? And it's been, you know, white Mexicans. It has, you get what I'm saying? It's never been like, listen, this is the first time that I didn't know Red Velvet was Afro Latina. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's like there's not, there is a lack of inclusion and diversity in general, right?
I don't think it's diversity, it's just the inclusion. The diversity is there.
The
I
diversity is
think
there.
that,
Okay, yeah, the diversity is there in regards to you signing certain people. But again, this is what we talked about in the last episode. Yeah, you sign all these different talents, but backstage, how many black people
yeah.
uh,
No, definitely
have
backstage, yeah.
you get what I'm saying?
But no, my
Where
argument is more towards the people that
again,
say no. My,
yeah,
my argument is towards the people that say that there's no diversity on the wrestling roster. You know what I'm saying? That's
it's
why
there. It's
yeah,
there.
it's
It's
there. That's
it's
there.
there. But in regards to again, how
Backstage,
can I
you
and here's
need
the
to
thing,
work.
you
Like,
you were
that's
you say
everywhere. That's everywhere.
you were saying hold on, you were saying in the sense of like, you know, people on Twitter will support this person, but do you know about this person or that person? So now this goes back to the company where how can we shine the light on people that we may not know? This is when you hire people of color in prominent backstage roles so you can pitch these ideas and know what that our community is looking for so we can get behind it, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So
definitely.
again, so this is what I'm saying, like she's not completely wrong with what she's saying. Now we can go in regards to her Instagram post. She's not necessarily wrong with what she's saying, and I feel her in regards to mental health and postpartum and depression because especially being a public figure and then being attacked on social media. I get it, and I was disappointed to see a lot of comments that weren't supportive of that, especially being as a woman, right? I was
Right,
disappointed in seeing that, but she is public enemy number one, right? So people are just gonna find whatever she says is bullshit. I hear
right.
what she's saying, and she deserves, to like let's cut the slack a little bit, right? But she
But
also has to
and
do
that's
better.
But that's the thing. Like, I feel like
Yeah.
anything that she says, even though she has a point, like with yesterday, I'm not saying she was
Hmm.
completely right yesterday, but I could see where she was coming from because when
Correct.
you have constant,
Correct.
when people are looking for the inclusion in the AEW, they run the brand like, well, Brandi, what are you doing? Because you're supposed to be brand chief officer. Didn't you say you was running the? You know what I'm saying? And she addressed that in her Instagram post. That she doesn't run anything. She can make pictures like everybody else, but she doesn't have any final say, regardless of who her husband is. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I feel like a lot of her backlash, which is I hate, is because they're like, oh, she doesn't know her identity, and that this and that and that's her third. Just like when she had that promo with Jade, and everybody was quick to say, oh, she's trying to act black. Da 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 da.
She put a
You
black
know why?
scent on.
Right? Or she code on talk, whatever the case be. Right? That night
Hmm.
really showed me how much they hated Brandi because I was sitting next to my wife, who's not connected to this community at all. And when
Hmm.
Brandi came out, she was with it. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like she didn't have no bias glasses on to say, oh, this is Brandi Rhodes who's lacking in her identity, and now she's trying to tap into
Hmm.
that identity. She didn't have none of that. She saw Brandi come out and speak, and she's like, yo, I rock with her. That's what she said automatically. It's like bump that. I like Jade and Brandi. Look at that. She
Yeah, listen,
supported both black women. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
and this is
like
why whenever
listen,
Brandi
like
speak, it's just like, come on, guys. Like you go overboard. Like you guys are attacking her.
I know, like a
Like
lot of people won't be a lot of people because that promo resurfaced over the weekend, and I watched it. This is the second, like third time I've
Cody
seen it, and
Rhodes.
I was just like,
Oh no. Oh, her
the
and Jade.
when
Okay.
she came out, yeah, going at Jade, and I was like, listen, yeah, maybe she did put on an act because that's not how she actually talks. But the thing is, just like I'm thinking in a real life situation, if someone's talking crazy to your man, what are you going to do? You going to come
Go out of
out,
character.
get out of character, and defend your man, or say you're not going to do this, and then she's in character in the sense that I run shit here. You're not going to be doing this, that, and the third. So I thought it was cool. Did I think it was the promo of the year? No, but I was like, I didn't see anything
It
wrong with
wasn't
it.
like
Where
no
it
code
was
switching. It
cringe.
wasn't like she was like like
Maybe,
and
but
again,
people
and this
feel
is
it
why.
was code switching because that's not how you talk. It's not how you actually talk. So that's why people felt it was code switching.
But
And
who
putting on
lives for her?
a black scent.
Who who goes around her with her family? Just because she speaks a certain way on TV and then in the office voice, and you know what I'm saying? Like
Okay, so
who are we to
but
say?
I get that, but it's just like if this is what if you've been presenting this whole time, it's for some people that may not be believable. I'm not knocking your point. I'm just saying
Right.
that if we've
But
never seen this before, but all of a sudden now because you're going against a black woman, now you got to do all this, that, and third. It looks weird. Nonetheless, I didn't. That was never my thoughts in regards to that promo. I'm not a Brandi basher, but I can play devil's advocate or play both
right.
sides against the middle in the sense of she has to do better with using her platform. I understand it's tough because of just how
But not
people attack
so
social
that's what I
media.
wanted to say. When it comes to like
Mhm.
George Floyd and stuff like that and social activism, yes, you can use your platform, but not. I feel like not everybody is political,
I
right?
agree.
Yes,
I agree because
she should have said something, but again,
I
we don't know her
agree.
comfortability after
You don't
being
maybe you may not even
attacked.
have
Not
to say
everybody's the
anything.
same,
You may not even have to say anything. You know,
right?
but like prime example, and this is not to put anybody on blast, but I remember like for example, Sasha Banks used her platform more so not necessarily speaking, but putting different links and this, that, and third in her stories and stuff like that in social media. That's how she used her platform, right?
Right.
I'm not saying Brandi has to be an activist and get on a soapbox and be like, Black people deserve their reparations and and all
Right.
this. I'm not saying that, but you in some form of capacity, I just feel that if you're especially the role that you've been handed with AEW, it has to be a little bit better than that.
Yeah,
And
I
then when
agree.
I
Like
see
she
these
did.
little segments, if I see these little different YouTube segments that she has with, I think MJF and other people, but I haven't really focused on it. But correct me if I'm wrong. I don't necessarily see people of color that join her on her different segments on YouTube and stuff like that. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I
I don't
never
know
see.
because
I
I
haven't
don't.
watched it. I haven't watched it. You talking about a shot with Brandy?
Okay,
I think it's
yeah, and
called,
stuff
right?
like yeah, and I feel
Yeah.
like do little cooking segments and this and that and third. That's all I'm saying. So when people so I can understand some people's point where it's like, are you really down for the Black community? Because you're not putting
But
them
that's the
in. You're not
thing.
putting.
She's this, and that's the murky area. Is like she doesn't feel comfortable enough to be in it. You know what I'm saying? Because she's been chastised her life about being,
I understand, but again, but that prime
but she's
example,
trying
I
to
get
maybe that's
it.
what I'm
But
saying.
the
She's
prime,
trying
but
maybe
I'm
trying to
saying, but
find
the
her way
prime example,
in.
just like that. Yeah, but so then wouldn't that be a prime? You're telling me if you have your own YouTube segment, I don't know, like whatever she does in regards to cooking or whatever, and you haven't put you've put white males on there.
Let me see. Let me see what
So
who she
now
has
it's
on
essentially,
it. And I would have looked.
you're letting people, you're essentially putting people in your home where you get what I'm saying. So where's the diversity in regards to in that?
Yeah,
That's
let me
all
see.
I'm
Let me
saying.
see.
You
Let me
can't
see.
put
Let me see who she
and I'm
had
not
on
saying
so far.
I'm not saying it's crocodile. It's not crocodile tears, but this is why people side eye you in different ways. It's just like you say this, but your actions say another.
Right. No, I understand that. Like again,
So you don't
it's a
feel you
lot.
don't feel you don't feel comfortable speaking out. Cool, I get it. There's a lot of people that don't feel comfortable in certain situations. I get that. But when I
I mean,
see you and other
she had Big Swole on. She had Sunny Kiss on. She
okay,
had Scorpio Sky on. She had Private Party
okay,
on. She had Nyla Rose on.
okay. So I stand
She
corrected.
has some.
So I stand corrected. But it then
She had
in
Dominique
that sense,
Wilkins
that's their
on.
platform.
What? She had Dominique
So if you
Wilkins on
have
here. I gotta watch this.
so
Sorry.
with that said, can I finish my point? Like
Sorry.
that said, then if you've had that diversity on your show in that sense, then maybe you can utilize it in that sense. You like you can be creative. That's all I'm
Right.
saying.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. I'm
I
not saying
understand.
she's completely wrong. I'm not saying the hate she gets is completely valid. You know, but hey, listen. We in the Black community, when we see people in prominent positions, we expect them to be like completely change everything, and that may not necessarily be the case. But some, small steps, it goes a long way.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I just feel for her because I be seeing like the craziest takes on her, and I'm like, you guys don't know her upbringing, y'all don't know her background, y'all don't know what she's been through. Like,
Sometimes it's the cool thing to say. It's the cool thing to do.
Yeah, it's the mob mentality. It's the mob
Yeah.
mentality.
And if it's easy to jump on social media and be like, see everyone else do it so you can get a couple laughs. And it's not even
Right.
just I'm not even attacking anybody in the wrestling. It's just in general, like when we see
General,
just with
yeah.
the musicians of this, if you have a opinion that's different from someone else, let's attack that. It's and
Yeah,
it
it's
sucks
crazy.
because it affects people's mental. But again, with all this, I think to tie this in a bow, continue to push forward with diversity and inclusion. And again, my point with AEW, WWE, NWA,
Everywhere.
Impact, Ring of Honor, everywhere, there has to be more Black people and people of color in general in prominent positions backstage. Period. It
Definitely.
has to be
And with
because you can't just
yeah,
be use us as talent. Go ahead.
yeah. We're more than talent. We're very brilliant. As transitioning to
There you go.
NWA, as you mentioned, Empower happened as
Mhm.
well this past weekend, and Jazz was one of the producers for the show. Shout out to Jazz,
There we
our
go.
friend of the show. Friend of the show. Shout out
Yes.
to Mickey James for putting that together as well. Gail
Yes.
Kim was part of that as well. It was
Yes.
just a great show
It was.
altogether. I know you missed a
Yeah.
couple of the first matches, but man,
Hmm.
the start of that show was amazing, and the way they closed it out was great. Like I really enjoyed it. It got some. It got.
I had no
I became. You had no clue what.
I had no complaints. I did actually. Go ahead, but finish your point.
What complaint?
After
I have one too.
maybe it's the same thing. After the championship match,
No, no, it's not the same. I know what you're about to say.
what's this dude?
Go
What's
ahead.
this dude's name? Mickey's husband,
Nick Aldis.
Nick Allison. I forget who it was that they were jarring at each other.
Oh,
It's like,
Trevor Murdoch. He used to be in WWE as well.
yeah. So it was just like, I understand that they have a big show today.
Right.
I don't know, releasing this. Okay, Sunday night, but it's just like, I don't think you need to piggyback. You know what I'm saying? Like, women don't get that opportunity, so let's leave it at the women. And yeah, you should have build up what needed to be built up prior. So for this, you didn't need to be included into this, in my opinion. That was my only complaint. But I thought it was a fantastic pay-per-view, and it just, again, look what happens when you have different people produce things, different minds produce things, and not the same people. You create art.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with the segment only because I knew how it tied in. Only because old girl that won, Camille, she was a part of that
Hmm.
group, which is why they was watching her match. So just kind of like,
I get
and
it.
it was only like a minute. It didn't take too much from the show.
I get it.
It kind of tied in, but definitely the match was great. Camille and Layla, oh my gosh, the storytelling in
That
that
was
match.
really, really,
The
really,
storytelling
really
in that
good.
match,
Yeah,
that was very good.
yeah, yeah.
I became a fan of a couple of people. Shout out to Jazzy Yang, who's the daughter of
Hmm.
I don't know if you remember Yang from back in the WWE times. It was like this Asian dude playing the cowboy, Jimmy Yang,
When was
Jimmy
this?
Wang Yang. This is like early, like mid 2000s, early 2000s. Yeah,
No,
Jimmy
I
Wang
don't
Yang. He
remember.
used to be in WWE. So this is like his daughter, and she came out as like dope show enough. I know you're not a movie buff like that, right? No.
Hmm.
Nah.
No,
You ever
no.
seen The Last Dragon with Bruce Leroy? No. Okay. So she came out.
You proceed to say you're not a movie buff, and then, but hey, I guess you
I
don't.
mean,
Who
that
knows
was
what I
based
might
in
have
New
seen?
York.
You
I thought you would
never know.
watch it. Yeah, it's based in New
Okay.
York. I thought you're a New York girl, so I thought you saw
Okay.
it.
Okay.
But she came out and Show Enough his outfit, and I was a dope homage to Show Enough. And she ever did like this angle where he bit somebody's ankle in a movie, and she did that in the match. I thought that was dope. She's a dope wrestler. Like, I like her match as well. The Hex, I'm a big fan of the Hex now. Like the girls, they won the tournament and won the
Tag team championships.
titles. Yep, since 1984.
Yeah.
That was a very, very great match. I enjoyed that. So I'm a fan of the Hex right now. Also the main event. Before I get to the main event, shout out to the Blue Dragon, Tootie. Which I tweeted about her earlier this week.
Her hometown that she got to perform in.
Yes, Tootie Lynn. Yep,
Yeah.
Tootie Lynn, the little Blue Dragon. She had a great showing against Chelsea Green. Like them coming down to the
I
final
thought she should
two.
have won.
Everybody
should have
thought the
won.
same thing. Everybody said, but I
Yeah.
understood because tonight or during the pay per view for the second night of the pay per view is going to be the winner of that tournament that battle royal face Camille. So I guess they wanted Chelsea Green kind of go against her.
Unknown
Um,
name.
yeah, so I kind of see
Yeah,
that,
but it
but
goes back.
it
It
was
goes back
it's
to
St.
like
Louis. You could pull it off.
that's what I'm saying. Not only is it St. Louis, it's a hometown. It's the hometown kid. 3, it goes back to everything that we constantly say in regards to wrestling. Yes, Chelsea Green was technically one of the known names in there, but it's like how do you build new names? I guess she built her name, right? From the showing she had against Chelsea. So that's
Right.
that says something. But still, I don't know. For me, it's
Yeah, I
hometown.
would have
It's
been mad about that. Yeah.
yeah, I would have pulled the trigger on that. But hey, other than that, it was a really, really
Um,
good pay-per-view.
it was really, really good pay
Oh,
per view.
and
I
it
want
was
to
an
wish.
awesome moment between
Oh,
Awesome Kong and
yes,
Gail Kim. That
Gail
was
Kim.
really like,
Yes, yes.
yeah,
I didn't
that was a
expect
dope moment.
that the retirement for her to retire right there in the ring like that.
Yeah,
This shows why she didn't
yeah.
resign with AEW after she was done
hmm
recording Glow. Um,
hmm
she's been in the game for a very long time. She touched WWE. She did stuff with TNA for a while.
She
Her
has
legendary feud with Gail Kim. Even though I didn't
Gail
watch TNA
Kim.
back then, I heard a lot
hmm
about that feud. So shout out
hmm
to Awesome
I've
Kong,
seen some
Amazing
stuff of
Kong,
that. Yeah,
whatever Kong you want to name her. Then get that whooping though. So she had a promo like that. But yeah,
yeah.
shout out to
It
her.
was it was
But
a very nice moment. Very it was
real,
a lot of emotion. Yeah, so that was cool. And shout out to Mickey James because again, this is
she put it together.
she
She
did.
did that. She
You
did.
see,
Shout out to all
you
the.
see.
Good, good.
I'm just saying, you see, like when you get an opportunity, run with it. This is everything that she was been pitching for WWE, and they try to tell her, "Oh, no one wants to see that," but a lot of people wound up tuning in for this. So, could you imagine if they did do that on WWE on a larger scale, like Evolution or
To be,
whatever, how people would tune in?
to be honest with you,
So,
this was
shout out to
better.
her
This is better only because shout out to all the other promotions as well that allowed their wrestlers to be a part of this.
to be a
Um,
part of it. Yeah,
like to have AEW, to have AAA, to have NWA, to have MLW, Ring of
Impact.
Honor, in like Impact, having all these people, women wrestlers get here to be a part of this amazing moment. It was different than what as much as we love WWE Evolution was and the women there. This was good because we saw everybody come together from all the other promotions. You know what I'm saying? Like I enjoyed that.
I
Like
hear
they
what
was even like,
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying, but I
like
wouldn't necessarily. I think it was just. I don't think it's two situations that have to be better than. I get what
you
you're
know what I'm
saying. I
saying?
agree 1,000%. I'm just saying, like on different scales, they were. It was good, like how it needed to happen. But
Yeah, no, no,
I
I'm
get.
not
I guess.
comparing the evolution to this. I'm just saying that it was for me. It didn't work out for her to do it in WWE for this reason. Because maybe if she didn't do it, if she did it in WWE, we would never get this moment, kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not comparing
Mhm,
evolution to what happened today because evolution was amazing. I was there live. That's never gonna top anything. You know what I mean? like,
mhm,
um, but
mhm.
the only thing I would say about NWA is like I gotta get better camera work, man. Like better audio, better camera. Like y'all
Well,
NWA, y'all like y'all
listen,
legendary. Like where's that money
legendary,
at?
but yeah, well, where is the money at? Maybe now with this, who knows with this pay-per-view and this and different things that people will invest more into it. We're
Right.
so used to like WWE and then AEW, production. It's just like, we got spoiled with that.
Yeah, I'm not
This
even
is a
saying it
small
gotta be
production.
that. I'm not even saying it had to be that extravagant, but like the audio and commentary was like all over the place. Like, dude, it
I
was on a
get
different
it, but
mic.
it just I appreciate the
I
authenticity of it. It just seemed underground, It wasn't necessarily supposed to be a spectacular, just showcasing that women wrestling is here and it's top tier and we need to focus more on it. So I think that was more so what I took away from it as opposed to production wise.
yeah. I mean, that's just me. You know me. I like
Mr.
the,
I'm a
the
yeah.
backstage producing. I like the producing part. But definitely I love the show.
Shut
I
up.
really I'm glad I
Yeah,
tuned in.
for
It got some great
sure.
recognitions. It trended at number 2 last night. It
Nice.
was great. I like it.
Yeah, and it goes back to from the previous episode of just like said, I said that I wanted to take a break from WWE, and then I asked people what is there to watch and like what days, just because, I probably, maybe, if things happen for a reason, because maybe I wouldn't have tuned in to this, if I wasn't fed up with what I saw with SummerSlam and WWE. Now again, it's just like, I'm a wrestling fan, so let's see what else is out there as opposed to just WWE and AEW, right? There's so much more wrestling out there and a lot of great talent out there. So, this is one of those weekends where wrestling won. And there was apparently another pay-per-view or show on Friday that was showed in the UK. It was a women's show. I gotta see what it was called, but I don't know. I think it was something. Let's see. It's not important, right? Well, I'm not saying it's not important, but the show, we're basically wrapping this up. But yeah.
Yes, essentially, like you said, there's a lot of wrestling out there, and I know we talk Black wrestlers and supporting, women wrestling and all that stuff. We're working on something. Like, instead of, like I always say, instead of like complaining about the problem, find a solution. A solution now. Maybe it's not gonna be major. It's just,
who knows? But it gives us,
you never know.
It shines us. It shines a light on.
It's gonna shine a light in a dark area. That's very forgotten. Let's just say that.
Good job.
So, thank you for another episode of the Mixed Tag Show. We're gonna be more consistent. I usually say. But yeah, it's a good week. So we'll see you again next week, right? That's it. Out.
Peace.
Tag show.